Leadership can be tricky. Whether it's managing a group, a business, or a country, there's always a balance between doing what's right and what's necessary. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's book is a classic on power and leadership, The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli. It's a bit different from yesterday's read because it's focused more on politics and the realities of leading, sometimes through tough and even harsh decisions. Machiavelli's book has often been seen as controversial. He talks about the sometimes difficult choices leaders must make to maintain power. And he's not afraid to say that sometimes the end justifies the means. One of the most famous lines from the book is, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Machiavelli believed that while being loved is great, being feared is more reliable because fear keeps people in check. It's an interesting idea. As leaders or even in life, we want to be liked, but when it comes to authority, fear might sometimes be more effective for maintaining control. Of course, it's a delicate balance. Another key idea is the end justify the means. The ends justify the means. This quote often sums up Machiavelli's philosophy. He is not saying leaders should be cruel, but rather that sometimes the actions they take, even if tough, are necessary to achieve a greater good. Now, this doesn't mean that anything goes or that morals don't matter, but it does ask us to think about how we weigh decisions. Sometimes doing what's right for the greater good may involve hard choices that don't always look noble. Here's another thought-provoking quote. "He who is highly adaptable to changing circumstances will succeed, and he whose actions do not suit the times will not succeed." Machiavelli is talking about the importance of flexibility. A successful leader has to adapt to the world around them. Being stuck in old ways, even if they worked before, can lead to failure. It's a reminder that life, like leadership, requires constant growth and change. What worked yesterday may not work today, and being able to adjust is key. He also says, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." In other words, sometimes you have to break promises if circumstances change. That's one of the more controversial ideas from Machiavelli, but in his eyes, leaders need to do what's necessary to stay in power. It raises an interesting question. Should leaders always stick to their word, even if the situation changes? Or is it more important to do what's needed for the sake of their people or their power? And lastly, Machiavelli talks about fear and hatred. And he makes an important distinction. He says, "A prince must only endeavor to avoid hatred, as is noted. For being feared and not hated can go very well together." So while Machiavelli believes in using fear as a tool, he warns against crossing the line into hatred. Being hated can lead to rebellion, but being feared can still keep things stable if done with care. So, what can we take away from The Prince? Machiavelli gives us a glimpse into the harsh realities of leadership, reminding us that sometimes difficult decisions must be made. It doesn't mean that kindness or morals don't matter, but that leadership often involves balancing what's ideal with what's practical. The Prince is a book that continues to challenge our views on power and leadership, even centuries later. It's one of those books that makes you think about how far you'd go to lead effectively. Thank you for listening. If this sparked any thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me tomorrow for another thought-provoking read. Take care and see you soon.